Hey everyone, welcome to my new YouTube channel. Most of what I'm going to be doing is opening vintage card packs, mostly baseball, mostly pre-85. And also, from what I've seen from recent videos, that people actually watch people opening their PSA submissions. So I do have 25 cards that should be coming back any day now, so that might be either video 2 or video 3. And then the other one of the first 3 videos is going to be kind of a buyer beware of some recent stuff on eBay, just to inform people not to make mistakes and waste their money. But most of what I'm going to be doing is opening packs. There's some great videos of people who open packs that I love watching. My wife thinks it's hilarious. Why am I watching somebody else open baseball card packs? But it's fun. I don't know how to describe it. I just have such a love for baseball cards for over 30 years now. And my first ones I bought were 82s. It was 82 Fleer. I like the Fleer because the teams were in number order. When I'd buy tops, you'd try to put the teams together, but numbers were all over the place. So in 1982, after wasting 1981 on Pac-Man and Donkey Kong cards, the neighborhood kids had baseball cards. And so 82 were the first ones that I got into. And 82 Fleer, they will always be my favorite. Just the color coordinated borders, the simple block at the bottom. All summer long, did not get the Pete Rose card. The Pete Rose was 60 cents. That was most in the price guide back then, and all summer did not get the Pete Rose card till finally I got the Pete Rose card. It's just the image of this just forever just in my mind. It's just with the big hair, with the sky background. And so a few years ago, I picked up a couple of unopened packs that have Rose on the front, the 82 Fleer Rose. This one's Luis Salazar on the back, but this one I'm not going to be opening, as well as the other Pete Rose like this. Those are being kept just like they are. But back then in '82, it was all Pete Rose and Reggie Jackson. This was my first, not this exact one, but I had mine's beat up. The original one I had. This was my first, what I'd call my first old card back then as a kid in '82. Was this Pete Rose? I have no idea how I got it, but this one I bought off eBay a few years ago, already graded, and this is another one of those images. It's one of my favorite all-time cards. I don't know if it's the extra border for the All-Star at the bottom, or just he looks so surprised to have hit the ball. It just this picture's just, I love this card. It's one I would love to get this in a 10. I do have I had 6 unopened vending boxes from '79, so hopefully I have a really nice 9 or a 10 in one of those. But those are hard to open because when I bought them, most of my vending boxes 10 years ago, they were a couple $100s. But now some of those, especially the 76s and 77s, are selling on eBay for thousands. So now it's kind of hard to justify opening any of them. Luckily, I've been pretty good. I've probably only opened about, I guess, 3 to 5% of my own open stuff. The rest is still sitting in rack packs and boxes and vending boxes. So it's fun to open though, because I think, pretty much any card, early '80s and older, in high grade is just a thing of beauty. So this one's an 8. It's trying to get the lighting and the glare right. This is my first video. I'm going to number them just one, I don't know of what, but hopefully if I have the time, produce a lot of videos. And instead of just flipping through the cards or reading the names, I'm going to try to talk about some of them, because just I have good memories of when I first got some of these as a kid. Of course, those are all beat up, and this is another one of those. This is probably my favorite George Brett card. I have no idea, just his look. I can't put words to it, but that's just, probably have 50 of these. It's my favorite Brett card. It's just a stern. I love the look on that one. And then of course there was Rose and then Reggie. And this to me is the epitome of a Reggie card back then. It's one of my favorite Reggie cards. This 78 here. He's just with this big swing and a miss, wrapped up like a pretzel. And again, I apologize for the glare and the lighting. This is the first video I've done, and I'll get it. I'll make improvements here. But back then it was Reggie and Rose. Those were the cards to get. What I'm also going to do is, one thing I do find irritating in the videos is the 5 minutes out of a 6 minute video is them opening the darn pack. So I finally figured out, one of my kids, of course, showed me how to delete sections of the videos. So the ones of all the time opening the pack, I'm going to cut out. So here's an 82 Topps, just a grocery cello. Grocery cellos and a lot of stuff I've bought. I mean, of course, the most reputable is Baseball Card Exchange. I think a couple of the racks here I have that I'm going to open in other videos are Baseball Card Exchange. I mean, you just can't go wrong. 2 of my 1980 racks that I've bought from them have had Henderson rookies in them. So all their stuff, of course, everybody knows, is completely legit. Another one on eBay. I'm going to point out good sellers. I don't think you can mention the bad ones, you get in trouble. But the good ones, these I got from Marchant Cards. Bought a lot of stuff that's from their original inventory, and I like original inventory stuff because nobody's messed with it. It's straight from the factory to them to you. So I probably bought 20 or 30 of these broken groceries and gotten some good cards out of them. So of course card number 2 already is another one of my favorites. But so the top of this one was Joe Price. Back was Randy Lurch. Again, I'm going to start with a small pack first, and then get into the bigger ones later since it's just the first video. So Joe Price, I remember when I was a Giants fan back then, he was a Giants killer. He'd always pitch incredible games against the Giants, and then I believe he was on their team at the end of his career, and he stunk. So it gave me even more reason to not like Joe Price or his cards at all. So there's Joe Price. Now the second one, people forget, he was the slugger in the late 70s, mid to late 70s, early 80s, George Foster. Just if he had a little bit more consistency or just a few more years of hitting homers like he did, I think he would be a Hall of Famer. But he's, still I love his cards. I'm going to kill that light, see if it'll get better. Yeah, that looks better. So George Foster was the second card out of this pack. This one's gorgeous. Maybe a corner takes it to a 9, but otherwise the centering is just beautiful on this. Everything's sharp on this one. The George Foster there. Third card out of this, Stan Pappy or Pappy. Some of these I won't know how to pronounce, but another beautiful condition card. Sometimes I don't like cellos because they're wrapped so tight that all the way through your corners are just destroyed. But this was a pretty loose grocery cello, and since it was loose, I don't think the corners got crunched too bad. So it's card number 3. I don't think there's many cards in this. Like I said, for the first video, I was going to start off all crazy opening a 50 card pack. Hal McRae, key to the Royals of the mid to late 70s, early 80s, with all their good teams, all their playoff teams. Of course, the Yankees always dashed their hopes in the AL playoffs, but I always remember it was Lee May and Hal McRae. Pee Wee baseball when I was 8. The first team was the Royals, so first cards I got a lot of were Royals, and that's why I probably ended up with just being a huge fan of George Brett, and he was pretty much my first favorite player, and probably still one of my top 3 all-time favorites. Kurt Bavacqua. Oh, I'm sorry, that was the next one. I'm jumping ahead. Charlie Huff. I just remember him pitching until he was really old and still getting outs with his knuckleball. But he looks pretty young in this card here. Charlie Huff. These are all coming out just gorgeous center. Here's the Bavacqua, and I remember him with the Padres playoff team. I believe it was in '84, and he did something like caught a baseball off a 80-story high-rise building or something. Was a story about him, some stunt he pulled. So, but with the Padres in '84 was, I think, towards the end of his career. So these are all coming out nice, and just obliterated gum in like 60 pieces here. So just going to dump that back into the wrapper. Clean off some of the gum dust here. Jim Tracy, I think I don't know if that's the same one that was the manager, but it's Jim Tracy. Next card. checklist. Second checklist is 133 to 264. And card number 1 from the set, Steve Carlton highlight. Just a little bit of kind of a crooked cut, but still really nice. I'll get some of the newer stuff graded when PSA has the specials. The cards I'm waiting for I sent away in February. I think they have like a $6 special. Then you can get some of these that are, maybe only worth a few bucks, but still, I love getting them graded because then they're basically just archived forever. Kids can handle them and not wreck them, and then you could look at them. That's the thing. I never get tired of looking at the same cards over and over again. So that's National League strikeout record, card number 1, Steve Carlton. And another nice one from there. I love this one. You got 5 people. That's the other thing too. I always forget with the 1982 being my first year collecting cards. It's right after the strike, so some of the numbers are down. But they have Armas, Rich, Evans, Murray in the AL, and then Schmidt, NL home run leaders card. Another nice one. This one's I was really pleased with this. Again, this one came from Marchant Cards. They are on eBay. They have, I'd say, mostly late 70s, early 80s stuff. I recommend them. I've had really good luck with stuff I bought. So here's the first off center, Rick Sutcliffe. Off center card. Overall, just a really nice. I mean, I think I only paying a couple of bucks a piece for these. So, and then there's the back card, Randy Lurch. So that's our first video here of opening cards. Like I said, I might do a next video of another card opening if I don't get my PSA cards here soon. I've been a couple months, but it did say minimum 50 days turnaround, 50 business days. So that's all right. I mean, it's worth the wait for getting your cards back. I don't know where I got this one. It's an 81 grocery rack. It's hilarious. Price sticker. It says 5 for $1. That's just, oh man. And then these couple of just 81 regular racks are baseball card exchange. And this is a rack I got off eBay. Pretty cheap because it was missing the header card. But Garvey on the front. Most of my stars on the front packs I do not open. I absolutely don't. But this Garvey looks gorgeous. And I don't know if this pack is worth saving like my other ones. I got it cheap again because there's no header, so it's not one of those that maybe would be worth as much down the road. Oh, and there's Fisk, Carlton Fisk on the back. So Carlton Fisk on the back, Steve Garvey on the front. So this one will open up in one of the videos. Garvey, that is the one player I do not know why he's not in the Hall of Fame. Look at his 87 Topps card. Look at how many years he had 200 hits, how many years he hit over 300. And he is the NL equivalent of Cal Ripken. He is the NL Iron Man, most consecutive games played in the National League. Years and years and years without missing a game. People forget that. But I guess there was some off-the-field issues that has kept him out of the Hall of Fame, which now, looking back, are child's play compared to what a lot of the baseball players have done the last 15 years or so. And yes, I am one of those who wants to burn all my Barry Bonds cards, and I do consider Maris and Aaron the true home run leaders. It's like the McGuire, Sosa, Bonds went into the Hall of Fame with crayons and erasers and erased everything, wrote their names in, and snuck out the back door giggling. That's the way I look at it. It's sad because back, when I was collecting with Rose, Jackson, all this, 30 home runs, 40 home runs meant something, but then that just went out the window in the late 90s, early 2000s. But Garvey, I wish he was in the Hall of Fame. I really think, they have all the advanced metrics these days that say he shouldn't be, but really, look at his career, look at the back of his baseball card. He should be in the Hall of Fame. But thanks for watching, and I'm just going to number my videos 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as far as I go, and thank you again.